Kind of fast, kind of not. Either way, always running or talking about it. Welcome to the Kind of Fast podcast, powered by Upward Running. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to Kind of Fast, powered by Upward Running, the podcast where we're kind of fast and kind of not. I'm Claire Boyce.
And I'm Travis Vaughn, and I'm happy to be here for episode 3. In fact, this is the first one in the series that we're launching basically immediately when it comes out. And This is really the format that we've been talking about we would have moving forward. We're not really, people should know who you are now. People should have a little bit of an idea of who I am now, but we're going to move into what the podcast should be moving forward. By the way, if you're new to this, like we are, as far as listening, if you've got some feedback for us, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
New to us, we hope that you enjoy this, but if there's some things that we can do better, we'd love to hear about it. What are we talking about today? Today, we're talking about starting over. Maybe you've been injured like I have many times in the past. Maybe life got away from you. I took a decade off at one point in time. Maybe you've laced up your shoes. The last time was a long time ago. Whatever the reason might be, you had to start over. Or maybe that's you and you've got this like itch to get back into it, and you don't really know what the best way or process to do that is. We'll talk about that today and hopefully give you some pointers.
We're going to dive into what it actually looks like to rebuild, not just from a mileage standpoint, though, your mindset, which in my opinion is arguably more important than just going out and hitting the ground running. So you got to get your mind right. You got to get your mind right.
Absolutely. And then some other things we'll talk about here, some funny pre-run fueling stories. I'm sure everyone that's done this for a little bit has an example of a terrible decision they've made. We'll get Coach Dean's take on that as well. And then we've got a new little mini segment we're going to start off with. And what's that?
This is called, and we need another drum roll. What does that even mean?
Whether you're brand new to running or you've been doing this for a while, you've probably heard someone throw out a term or a thought and you go, what does that even mean? So today's segment of what does that even mean? What are we talking about here?
We are going to talk about warm-ups and cool downs. And people look at me like I have 4 eyes, which I kind of do right now. But people look at me like I have 4 eyes when I say, oh yeah, I've got to warm up before I actually start. And they're like, what? Like, why would you do that? But that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. And if you were to look at, say, at my Strava, sometimes you'll see WU-2 miles warm up. That's what we mean there. That's what I'm going for as kind of a quick way of noting what I was doing as part of the workout there. But last week we talked about a few race distances. If you missed that, you might want to go back and check that out. There's a fun conversation there. But today's about warm-ups and cool down. So what is a warm-up?
Okay, a warm-up is what you do before you start doing the activity you meant to do. Now, that is a tongue twister. So really broken down, a warm-up is how you ease into your run. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be running. It can be stretching. It can be butt kicks. It can be karaokes. Those are really fun. It doesn't always have to be running. Now, for me, I'm doing the upward running maintenance plan. My warm up on speed days looks like 2 miles. So I'm warming up for 2 miles, slow, steady pace. I usually aim for about 2 minutes slower than my normal pace for these warm ups to really get my body acclimated to what I'm about to do.
Karaoke might need to be the what does that even mean topic of next week. Let's note that one. I'm going to guess less people know what that is than warm ups and cool downs, but I digress there. Warm-ups help you get ready for the actual work if there is a plan for the day. Sometimes your warm-up can just kind of slowly transition into the mileage for the day. And so if you've got 5 miles, you just want to start off slower and work your way into it. I'll say, as an older runner than you are, older in age, warm-ups are essential the older you get. It just is harder to get the body moving and get the joints moving again. And so it is absolutely essential for me to do a warm up. I did a track workout this morning,
Okay.
5:30 in the morning. And I did 4 miles before I even started the track workout. Now I didn't have to do 4 miles. 2 miles would have been fine. But if I would have not done a warm up at all, it would have been, I would have pulled something probably, and I wouldn't have been able to get up to speed on those first couple 200s that I was doing this morning. So, absolutely essential for most runners, but as you get older, even more essential.
It's also important to do a warm up before you actually start to race, too. So, not just in your workouts.
Races, especially because most of the time you're going to start off at a good hot pace and try to hold that at that point. And it's just literally not possible for me to get up to a good hot pace straight out of the bed or off the
Yep.
couch or anything like that. One thing to note, your nervous system is a part of this too. It's not just muscles and joints, that kind of thing. It's your nervous system that says, hey, we're good now. You can chill. Literally, it helps recovery and lower your chance of post-run soreness when you do a warm-up. So that's a part of what we're talking about.
Now, a cool down is essentially the same thing, except you're not warming your body up. You're literally cooling your body down.
Yeah, less important for some of your just steady miles, your 5 or 7 mile runs or something like that. But if you're doing a workout or if you've done a race or something with some intensity, you get some lactic acid build up in your muscles. You got all that blood flow going through there from working out really hard. So it's good to just slowly bring the heart rate down and to get your body moving, because movement equals recovery. And that's what you're really starting with that cool down, is starting the recovery process.
One last question. You said on your Strava, now Strava is an app where people track their runs, but on your Strava, you write WU for warm up. Do you write a CD for cool down?
I used to, warm up 2 miles, 2 miles, 10 by 200 with 200 easy in between, and 2 miles CD cool down would
Okay.
be kind of how I would state that. This morning, if you were to look at my Strava, it just literally said what the workout part of it was. I didn't note the warm up or the cool down, although I did both of those. It's just where I'm at as far as my documentation to the world on what my runs are at this point. So no rhyme or reason necessarily to that.
Okay, that makes sense. So, for all of our listeners, whatever you're running, cool or warm-ups are essential. Do not skip them, especially as you get older, apparently, is even more important.
You'll see. It's coming. It comes for all of us.
All right, well, let's talk about some of the most chaotic, questionable, and downright unhinged things that runners have eaten before heading out the door, which brings us to our next segment, the viral video of the week. This creator posted, "Tell me the most unhinged thing you've ever eaten before a run." And the comments were just hilarious. I was rolling laughing. I spent way too much time in these comments.
When you say unhinged, I need specific examples. Do you have that for us?
Oh yeah. I've got plenty. I had to narrow it down though.
Let's hear them.
Okay, the first one. Five Guys the restaurant.
Doesn't seem that crazy to me, but I got it. What else we got?
I had to start you off easy. Okay. Now that's still not something I would do, but leftover Domino's slice in my car on a long run day.
Yeah, that one can be very questionable to eat some leftover Domino's in a hot car, especially right now here in South
Right.
Carolina, where it's going to be 100 degrees today.
Like, that just, no, but it gets worse. 2 Monster energy drinks, a bag of Hostess donuts, and a gas station burrito before a trail marathon. I did not PR.
That makes sense. I'm all for getting sugar and energy in, but that is an extreme amount of sugar.
Yeah.
To start that off.
I don't even know what to say. I just stuttered about 5 times trying to get words out. The gas station burrito, that would have done me in. Nope. No shot. No shot. This is next. 4 lamb chops before a race. Worst mile performance ever.
Who even eats 4 lamb chops back to back to back to back?
Who even has 4 lamb chops ready at 7 in the morning?
Exactly.
Now this one, I can try this one. A sunrise sunset smoothie and a Baja chicken wrap 30 minutes before. I PR'd by 19 seconds in the 1600.
1600 makes me think it's a high school runner.
Yep.
That would be a common, that's the mile essentially in high school. And this sounds like something I might have pulled off once upon a time in a high school race there. So, yep, I understand that.
I would do this. I would do this now, I think. And I would be okay. It's worth a shot. I mean, he PR'd. I might try it. A whole bottle of extra sugar Gatorade, a popsicle, and a cookie. I felt amazing. That's a lot.
I don't know what extra sugar Gatorade is. Are they literally adding sugar to Gatorade?
That's a good question. Can we follow up?
Need to follow up.
Kind of Fast Podcast would like to know if you put extra sugar in your Gatorade. I might do that. Stay tuned. Come back next week for more. Rock hard tortillas I found in the trunk of my car.
That's gross.
That's disgusting. Ew. I brought a chicken tendy wrapped in a napkin in my fanny pack. Best mid-run snack ever.
I love the chicken tendy idea there. And I don't mind this one. I mean, if you're trying to eat protein in the middle of your run or something like that, as long as you stop. I can't imagine trying to huff down a chicken tender in the middle of my run. But if I stop, got some water, ate a chicken tender.
It's going to get soggy because you're going to be sweaty and the breading is going to fall off. I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know. There's a ultra marathon runner that we will talk about on the podcast coming up, and she eats potatoes and stuff. This might have been her.
Mashed potatoes, according to Walter.
Yeah. Yep.
Pizza, all those type of things. Pretty common in ultra marathons to do things like that, but she's the best, and so gets a lot of attention for doing it.
That makes sense. All right, we got a few left. A cupcake and maple syrup straight from the bottle.
Again, sugar equals energy, but that's an extreme way of getting it.
This one might be the icing on the cake here. Chips, salsa, and a Tres Amigos burrito, which is steak, chicken, and shrimp, and pineapple topped with melted cheese and chorizo. 20 minutes later, I did a 3-miler, and for the second time in my life, I ran a full mile without stopping, mostly because I had to get home for the bathroom.
Sometimes when I've ate terrible food before running or maybe the night before, I call it rocket fuel just to, in my mind, make me think that this is exactly what my body needs. It needs hot dogs and hamburgers and things like that. So that's what comes to mind for me here. She achieved a great, or he achieved a great thing there by running without stopping. So who are we to say that that's not the perfect thing for this person to eat?
You heard it here first, guys. If you want to run a mile without stopping, go eat this.
Eat the burrito. It's basically rocket fuel.
Maybe don't do that.
So to bring back to actual science and wisdom, we asked Coach Dean, our national run coach at Upper Running, for his pre-run fueling and nutrition, and maybe he can get this back on track for us here after all these crazy examples. What did Coach Dean have to say about it?
Yeah, so he, of course, started off with a reminder straight from Scripture. 1 Corinthians 6:19-20. Your body is a temple, fueling well, and not just for athletics, isn't about pace or performance. It's about honoring God with what you have been given.
It's not a one-size-fits-all. He says fueling is very personal, and what works for you might not work for me, and vice versa.
Yeah, and he doesn't really chase trends either. So there was a huge beet juice, disgusting, trend going around.
Is beet juice the secret sauce to athletic performance? One scientific study among many showed a 16% improvement in cardiorespiratory endurance in athletes when drinking 10 to 16 ounces of beet juice prior to a workout. Is this true? How does it work? Beets are high in nitrates, which are converted into nitric oxide when consumed, which therefore increases blood flow, improves lung function, and strengthens muscle contractions. Basically what this means is our bodies can become more efficient at using oxygen. It opens up our blood vessels and gives more oxygen to our working muscles. In addition, nitric oxide also functions as a signaling molecule communicating with our cells and tissues. Again, this ensures more blood flow to the working muscle and better oxygen intake by that muscle. Beet juice is most effective when drinking 10 to 16 ounces 2 to 3 hours before an exercise.
And that did not work for him. But what did work for him was eating black beans with his lunch every day. He doesn't just pick a trend and go with it. You have to kind of find what works for you, since all of our bodies are different.
For sure. I mean, he has good stories of going vegan for a while and trying that out and seeing benefits there. And I ran a race with Dean a few months ago. It was a team race, and another guy was talking about some of the challenges he's had with trying to lose weight. And he said, "Have you tried this?" And the guy said, "Yes." "And have you tried this?" Yes. And Dean's like, "Well, those are the things that work for me." So, it's everyone is unique here. And the main thing here, we don't need to demonize food. Just because TikTok or Instagram says that it's bad doesn't mean it's bad for you. The goal isn't perfection. It's balance, it's curiosity, it's stewardship, it's noting what works and doing that again, and noting also what doesn't work and staying away from that next time.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the guy who PR'd in his race eating some of the most outrageous things ever. I could never, but hey, it worked for him. So I think the most important takeaway that I got out of here was you're not supposed to eat, train, or look like anybody else on this journey. You're supposed to do what you need to do. And I think that social media has been a blessing and a curse because we're so used to seeing what everybody else does and comparing ourselves to that. So bad trap to fall into for sure. But all of that to say, Travis, we were talking in your office this week and you had a run on Tuesday after eating Mexican. How did that go?
It was terrible. I cut it short and had to run longer the next day because of it. But yeah, my daughter's at camp this week for the first time ever. She's 10 and she's away at camp, and my wife has had a hard time with having her baby gone for the first time, and not just with a grandma, but like in the hands of people that we hardly know, at this summer camp. And so went home and wanted to make sure I checked on her, and she's like, she wants some Mexican. Great. Let's do some Mexican. Went and ate that. Thought I gave myself enough time. Hour and a half after the run. After eating, went for a run, and it was just sitting there in the top of my stomach the whole time. Just was miserable. Thought I was going to get heartburn at any given moment of the run. Really didn't ever come on, but did cut it short for the day because it was a miserable experience there. And I tried to pay attention to what I was eating. I didn't get anything spicy or crazy heavy or anything like that, but it was not a pleasant experience.
I wonder if that also has to do with the heat maybe as well. So heat and Mexican food.
Sure. Yes. Because it was 90 plus degrees when I was trying to run as well.
Yep. Probably didn't help.
Not a great experience there. Do you got any tough stories from eating something poorly before?
Not myself personally, but in college, the guys team, the girls team wanted nothing to do with this, but the guys team, and this is kind of gross, but bear with me, they would eat Fruit Loops with milk before their races. And the goal of this is to see what color they could vomit because of the Fruit Loops. And that is crazy.
That sounds very much like a college guy's thing to try.
Yep.
Yes. Exactly.
I mean, no, thank you. But they did it all of the time. It's the weirdest thing. And they tried different cereals for different results. Yeah, you won't find me trying that anytime soon. But
if it were race day morning, big race that you really care about,
okay,
and you've prepared for it, what would you be eating?
Bagel and oatmeal, but not a big bagel. The mini bagels.
Okay.
Only the mini bagels.
Anything on it?
Nope, plain.
Straight carbs.
Straight carbs.
Okay.
So good.
Nice.
So good. And oatmeal.
Well, I got a list of a few things that might be smart pre-run fuel ideas, especially for a morning run or race or something like that. A couple of these are definitely on the list of things that I would eat here. So the first one, a banana with a little peanut butter.
Okay.
or you put it directly on it, like we used to do when we were a kid. A new one for me, and I do this almost weekly at this point in time. I heard a runner talking about it and I was like, ooh, that sounds pretty good. Take a banana, slice it up, drizzle honey all over it. Now you can't pick it up at that point in time, but you can use a fork, and so you get the sugar of the honey that's natural and with the banana. That's a pretty good one there. You ever tried anything like
I
that?
have not tried that, but I don't like banana. I know.
Mm,
I'm a weird runner,
okay.
but
Other things would be like a slice of toast with honey, applesauce or granola bar, oatmeal, a handful of pretzels, a few dates or dried food, and waffles. That would all be very good things there. So uh, I would say that I eat some or all of that almost all the time. So those are great morning type things to fuel yourself. I just think don't try anything new.
yep.
If you're going into a race, do something you've done in the past. If you're going into a race that's a half marathon or shorter, it really doesn't matter that much. It matters some, but it's only marathoning and beyond where you really get into you might not have enough energy source. And you need to pay attention very closely to what you're doing from a fueling standpoint in the morning. I mean, I'll do 17, I think this Saturday morning, I'll probably grab a breakfast bar, uh, on the way out the door, and that'll be it. And that's fine. Like no problem on fueling for that run there. So again, find out what works for you, stick with it, and don't try anything new.
Yeah, bottom line is to pick something easy to digest, nothing new, and give your time to let it settle just a little bit.
All right, our next segment here, starting over, what to do when you're getting back into running.
We're going from fanny pack chicken tenders to figuring out what actually works for your body. And we're going to shift gears just a little bit to talk about this because sometimes it's not just about fueling for the next run, it's finding the courage to even start running.
Whether it's injury, burnout, illness, or just life getting away from you, or just a season in life, maybe you've had a kid or um, you needed to take care of an aging parent or any of these type of things. Almost every runner or human out there finds themselves in a place eventually where they go, I used to be in shape or I used to run and now I don't. And where do I even begin to start back?
We found this article. It talks about this exact thing. And the woman in the article was literally hit by a car a month before the New York City Marathon. And when she tried to run again 6 months later, she said that every run felt like a slog. She actually got to the point where she completely dreaded running and wanted to have nothing to do with it, where 6 months earlier, she was training to run the New York City Marathon. And I think a lot of us can relate to that, even if our break was a little bit less dramatic than getting hit by a car.
Yes, exactly. So let's talk about why it feels so hard. One of the coaches in the article says your body isn't gaslighting you. Your aerobic system can lose 50% of its fitness just after a few weeks off. So if running feels harder than it used to, that's not in your head. That's real, but it's also pretty reversible pretty quickly. I've had a long time coach that has told me that when you're starting back, and generally he's talking about from injury, but it could really be from any type of absence. He says the first 6 weeks are going to suck. That's about how long it takes to get back to a level of fitness that you feel like you can move forward with. And so you just got to know that those first 6 weeks are going to suck and work your way through it, knowing that there is an end to the slog, as she says there.
Yeah, so it's mental. Like we were talking about earlier, it's so much mental. Running is a mental game in itself, and starting over running is even more mental, in my opinion. So you also have to deal with the comparison and the identity crisis of, I used to be able to do this. Why can't I do this now? And one of the psychologists said that we struggle because we tie our self-worth to our best version of ourselves. And when we fall short of that, it messes up our head so much. It does for me. I don't know about you, but it messes my head up. And it did for our woman who got hit by the car too.
Yep. So here's the shift we got to make. We're not
Okay.
chasing the runner we used to be. We're becoming the runner we're meant to be right now, or the runner that we are. Here's what I would say is my number one advice in this situation, because I've done this many times, way too many times that I would want to. I've been injured so many times, and the main thing is you need to trust the process. The process may mean I'm going to run 3 days this week. And so let's make sure we get those 3 days done. And then next week it might be 4 days. It could be even less than that. It might be a run walk scenario early on where you're just trying to get out and move, and those type of things. But understand what your goal is for that week or for that individual run. Do that. Win that day, that week there, move forward, and trust the process that you're going to get back to the runner that you want to be.
That's so real. That was really good. I love the win today reference again for the running journal. If you weren't here last week, we have a win today running journal in the Upward Running store that members can purchase, and you can track all your runs in there.
Because you can't get the ultimate goal without doing all the steps ahead of it. And so the idea there is that, you got to look at each individual segment along the way and figure out how you can win in that segment so you can get the ultimate goal. And I think what we're talking about here is really getting to, I want to expedite myself from today to the goal that I want. Just not possible. So realize that's not possible. Realize that you're only going to end up injured or in a bad place if you're trying to get there too quickly anyway. So kind of run where you are at the fitness level that you're at, trust the process, follow the advice of doctors or a good training plan, and work your way through it.
We also have some tips for people who might be kind of starting over. Travis, hit us with the first one.
The first one is remember who you are. Running is something you do, not who you are. You're not behind, you're becoming. Stay present and stay grounded.
That's good. I love that. Running is not who you are. It's something that we do. I need to remember that.
Same.
I need a reality check. That was humbling.
It is a part of some of our personalities when you are really into the running thing, but you are more than that for sure.
Number 2, just run. Don't rush. You're not proving anything. Use the run walk method if you have to. Start with 30 minutes at whatever pace feels good to you. It's not about speed, it's about joy. Our upward running plans do an excellent job at starting people off on the couch or starting over. Coach Dean and Mitchell have developed excellent curriculum in our plans that you can find on the upwardrunning.com website too.
Yeah, they have trained over 200,000 people since they started the ministry to run their first 5K. That's an amazing number of people. We have perfected what it means to go from the couch to the 5K. And so certainly we can help advise on what the best ways are to do something like that. But even if you're a seasoned runner and you're not in that type of mold there, we got plans for you and advice. And one of the great things about our app there, I'll make this a sales pitch here, but we do have the social groups on there where you can go on and ask questions, or a Thursday Night Live where you can interact with Dean directly, ask questions. And so if you're in a unique situation trying to build back up, we can give you the individual advice that you might want.
Yeah, that's perfect. Ties perfectly into point 2. Number 3, tell us about it.
Calibrate your expectations. Don't aim for your old PRs. Set goals like run 3 times this week. Small wins build momentum, and they matter. And I really think set process goals, not individual metrics out there. So you're not going to run this many miles at this pace and try to run this race in this number of weeks. Like that's all part of the calculus of what you're trying to do. I think you need to just look at it like, all right, I'm going to run X miles this week, all easy, all zone 2 running. And next week I'm going to add 3 more miles to it. And I'm going to continue to do that until I get back to my kind of baseline. And then we'll get into training from there. So set process goals, not individual metric goals.
That's fantastic advice. Number 4 is accept the ups and the downs. Progress is not linear. You have hard days, and that's normal. You're not failing. You're just adapting to what your body is doing in this moment.
One of my favorite things that I think about a lot of times was something that Alexi Pappas said. So if you don't know who Alexi Pappas is, she's an Olympian. She grew up here in the U.S., and ran at Dartmouth and Oregon, All-American there in college. But her parents were from Greece originally, or at least her dad, I think I remember, was. Nonetheless, she ran for Greece in the Olympics and the marathon. I think she holds the 10K record for Greece as far as a runner on the track there. And so one of the things that she said just really resonates with me and I think about all the time. And she said this years ago, still sticks out to me. It's the rule of the thirds.
So my Olympic coach told me after a particularly challenging workout where I could not hit my splits before going to the Rio Olympics, that was okay. It was the rule of thirds. And he was an Olympian, so I was, I always soaked in everything he said. And I was like, what's the rule of thirds? And he said, when you're chasing a dream or doing anything hard, you're meant to feel good a third of the time, okay a third of the time, and crappy a third of the time. And if the ratio is roughly in that range, then you're doing fine. So today was the crappy day along your dream chasing.
Right.
And if the ratio is off, like you feel too good all the time or too bad, then you got to look at if you're fatiguing or not trying hard enough or pushing yourself.
And so you should always have this rule of your thirds. If you have nothing but good days, your goals probably aren't big enough. You should probably try to do more. You should have moments where you do not succeed or you fail. If all your days are bad, well, either you're training at the wrong level, or you're trying to strive to do too much, too fast, too often, something like that. But if you have a mix of good, bad, and kind of neutral days throughout a training cycle, I think that's the way you should feel. That's what her and her coach always said, and I totally agree with that. Number 5, redefine what success looks like. You don't have to be who you were before, set new goals. Find joy in the process. That is winning. I can talk specifically about this because my fastest PRs are 20 to 25 years ago. There's almost nothing I can do that would even come close to approaching some of those times. So now I have adult PRs. That's what I call them now. And that's what I go after and try to run faster and faster as it relates to that. But I have to completely reframe that. I have an old college teammate that has such a hard time reframing that in his mind. He said, if he's not running as fast as he used to, what are we even doing out here? I think that's a tough place to live in there. And so I think redefining what your success looks like. Sometimes your success might look like achieving those process goals we talked about before, or reaching a new adult PR, or whatever that might look for you.
You've already dropped a ton of great advice on us, but I have to ask, you've started over a few times before that you let us know about in the previous episode. What is one single piece of advice you would give someone who is in the same boat?
Yeah, the piece of advice I would say, outside of the win today mentality, which we've talked about already, it is you are gaining unbelievable fitness just by doing easy, slow runs, zone 2 running only. If you only did that and you weren't striving to get in big workouts or huge long runs or things like that, or new lifting schedule, if you're only doing nice and easy training, that's going to result in great fitness gains. And so just work on getting moving again, being super consistent, and doing that at a nice and easy pace while your fitness rebuilds.
If you're coming back from a break or just feeling a little bit discouraged about where you personally are right now, just breathe deep. You are not alone and you are not behind. Just one day at a time. Win today.
Win today. That's right.
And with that, it is almost time to wrap up. But first, let's do a check-in. Travis, what are you running this week?
It's a down week for me. So believe in the 3-week cycle mentality of a couple up, one down. And so trying to let my body recover from some good hard work early in a marathon cycle for me. So this morning did some quick pickups, some 200-meter repeats, did 10 of those in a hot, sweaty, almost pre-dawn workout there, but glad that's behind me and kind of keeping the mileage down now. I've signed up officially for a couple races.
Okay.
There's a 5K in August. that I've officially signed up for, and the Columbus, Ohio Marathon in October. That's the one we're working towards. So I would say right now, today, right here in early July, I feel the healthiest I have felt in this whole year, maybe going back to something like November of last year.
Wow.
Feeling great about things.
Knock on this.
Let's just keep it going. But yeah, really happy with where I am on a running standpoint. How about you?
That's great. Well, I have bad news. This is going to be my first week where I'm not going to hit my 35 plus miles for the week. I have to take a few days off per the doctor. So I'm super bummed about that. So I'll probably end the week with 20-ish miles, maybe 25, maybe.
Got to follow the doctor's advice when they advise on certain things like that. But
I don't want to.
Still keep it moving and still so far out from your race.
Yes.
That no impact at all.
And thankfully no major injuries. So we'll be good. We'll be good in a few days. But bummed about that. Yeah. Next week I'll have great news. I am manifesting that right now.
I love that. And I think if Coach Dean was sitting here, here's the advice I think he would give you. Don't make it up next week. Just move into next week with the mentality that you had a great week this week and you're moving into next week. Just keep on progressing. You're in a great spot right now.
He read my mind because I've already been calculating. If I run this week and this week, I can make up miles. But thank you. Thank you, Coach Dean.
I'm pretty sure that's what Dean would say.
Thank you for tuning in to Kind of Fast on episode number 3. Now, before we go, we want to hear from you guys. Do you have a hilarious pre-race fuel story? We want to hear it. A running term that you want explained? We can answer that for you. Or just a question that you want us or Coach Dean to tackle on the show. Send it in. You can visit upwardrunning.com/kindofast and send us all your comments and questions.
We'd love to hear it. I've led the market research team here at Upward for like 7 years. So whatever type of comment you might have, as long as it's constructive criticism, we can take it. We would love to learn and get better and make this something that you really look forward to listen to on a weekly basis. So that's the goal there.
Yeah. Now, remember, his journey is more than miles. God is in every step. The good runs, the tough days, the quiet moments, the bad runs, it all matters to him. Whether you're chasing a goal or simply just wanting to show up again, you are not running this race alone. He is with you, he is for you, and he is using this season to grow something deeper inside of you.
At Upward Running, this is where faith and fitness meet. We'd love to run with you. Join us at upwardrunning.com/kindafast. That is upwardrunning.com/kindafast. And use the code kindafast for 2 weeks free. And until next time, keep showing up, keep running your race, the one God has marked out just for you. And that's it for number 3. See ya.
See ya. Oh, I want a Baconator.
That was your line. I stole your line. Run your pace. Stay. I don't know that I like that at all. Can we take that out? Can I do this whole thing again?
Thank you for turning a little bit. I got this. My cheeks hurt from laughing. All right. Run your pace. Stay in. Someone might really like that line.
And maybe don't eat that Baconator before the next half marathon.
Bye, guys.
See ya.